There's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point we just can't take anymore. There's a line that we'll cross and there's no return. There's a time and a place, no bridges left to burn anymore. We can't just wait with lives at stake until they think we're ready. Our enemies are gathering, the storm is growing deadly. Now it's time to say goodbye to the things we loved and the innocence of youth. How the time seems to fly from our carefree lives and the solitude and peace we
Hey,
always knew.
You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Absolute Zero's podcast, a very special Absolute Zero's episode.
Dude, that intro hit harder now that I've got a drink in me. I almost cried.
I am Josh. With me, we got my boy Daz.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
And for the very first time since forever, we got Chandler coming back on.
I'm back and I have long hair now.
Yeah, he
Not
needs-
for long. I'm going bald, so I'm about to cut it off.
So for anyone watching the stream, yeah, I don't know what was going on.
Have we tested sound? Can people hear us now?
I don't know.
Sound check?
It's
1, 2?
it's whatever.
I
We
mean, that
can hear
part's
each
kind of
other.
important.
We can hear each other, but people in chat were saying that they couldn't hear us, but we're just not gonna give a shit right now because I checked the VOD after we went offline for a few minutes, and the sound quality was fine. It was there. I could hear each other. I could hear us.
There's a reason I'm not the tech guy.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I'm not very tech savvy
This is
either. Anyways,
an Xbox headset I plugged into the back of a computer. Miraculously, it auto-connected.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, I will say if anyone is listening on Spotify, this is definitely one you'll probably want to watch on YouTube. If anyone is
That is
still having
powerful.
audio issues on YouTube and Twitch, then just wait for the VOD.
Yeah.
Curtis Asano, what's up? Big Chef, what's up? Hey, Big Chef says he can hear us.
Awesome,
That's
sweet.
good.
Uh,
Big
that sounds awesome. That's great. So, I guess just moving forward, let's just keep an eye on chat and make sure things are fine. But
I'll
yeah,
keep it
that being
Colon, red-faced,
I'll keep
heart
looking
shape,
at.
and colon.
that's just hard. Anyway, so yeah, this is a very special.
What's up,
Yes,
Al?
so-
Al's in the chat.
Al is in the chat.
Prince Ali. We love him.
Let's not address chat just so that
Well,
we aren't going back and forth.
Al's a member. We have to at least acknowledge he's here.
Yes, but he didn't want to come on. Anyways,
He's at work.
he's at work.
I appreciate him getting into the chat. He's at work.
So this is special because Rooster Teeth is ending.
Rooster Teeth is...
After 21 years, Rooster Teeth is finally coming to an end of no fault of their own. It was Warner
Asterisk.
Bros. Discovery who decided, hey, we're gonna fuck them and just shut them down. So yeah, that sucked, and
For
here
now,
to-
we just have to wait to see if Warner Media gets back to me, if they'll let me buy the rights to the name Rooster Teeth. I have reached out. I mean, theoretically, things are only worth what someone's willing to buy. So if I'm the first bid, technically it's my price to set. I don't want any of the IP. I don't want any of the debt. I don't want any of the infrastructure. Just give me the name. I'll do something weird with it. Probably give it to Jeff Ramsey, but I'll do something with it.
Yeah. So we do have some lovely guests that are going to be coming on in just a
The
minute.
loveliest, I'd argue.
The loveliest guests. That intro was done by our very own Pixelation, James. Thank you very much.
Baby
That
boy.
was An amazing intro.
Yeah,
Definitely put us in the feels.
those
Oh,
lyrics hit
absolutely.
harder. I said it the first time before our sound cut out, but those lyrics hit harder in retrospect.
Absolutely, absolutely. So,
Ending with what? That red versus blue line gets me every time, man.
it
Oh
Ever
yeah.
wonder
does.
why we're here?
Everyone over here. It's one of life's greatest mysteries. Um. So yeah, it's this is definitely a memorial kind of wake type of funeral
I don't know.
kind of thing.
At funerals, I haven't been to too many, but I prefer to celebrate the life of not a thing, but in this case, it's a thing.
Yeah.
Celebrate
It's
rather than demoralize.
yeah,
Exactly. And
it's
yeah,
meant.
whether
If you've
whether
ever
you
been to an RTX, the Rooster Teeth Expo, every panel ends with like a Q&A session, and almost every single person that walks up to that mic says, "Hey, I just want you to know you guys got me through a hard time. Hey, so
Oh yeah.
proud to be here. You guys mean a lot to me." You can't go to an RTX or any kind of Rooster Teeth meetup because I'm a part of Rooster Teeth Houston and a couple other groups. Uh, you can't go to any of these without hearing a story about what this means to each and every individual fan who's stuck around all these years. Wearing a Rooster
absolutely
Teeth shirt,
whether you love
sign.
or hate Rooster Teeth, let's just acknowledge that for 21 years they've been putting out some killer content, and they've made an impact in the entertainment community.
I don't know about anyone else, but I listen to their podcast. It's weird because I can't censor myself. It's called Fuckface. That first word is bleeped in the way they spell it and they say it.
The Fablik face.
The F Face podcast.
Yeah.
That
F
is some of the
asterisk
greatest content
CK.
in the history of the
Love it.
company. Is that podcast and their supplemental content. And like it's the soul of Rooster Teeth. It's just Jeff, Gavin, Andrew Panton going insane slowly on camera or on microphone, and it's honestly I think it's become my favorite Rooster Teeth IP. Anything they've ever done, I think, is the F Face podcast.
So I first started consuming Rooster Teeth content. I first got into Rooster Teeth back when I was in college, somewhere in 2012, 2013. I found Rage Quit, and from Rage Quit, I found Achievement Hunter. And from there, I heard some folks talking about this little anime starring Red Riding Hood fighting werewolves, and like, hell yeah, that sounds awesome. And that's how I found RWBY in 2014. I actually started right before season volume 2 came out, so that was really cool.
Volume 2 is the only season I own.
I actually
yeah.
own
I own
volume
that on
1 through
iTunes.
3. I actually own volume 1 2.
And talking about it, I know personally, I got into it like shortly either after or before Ray became part of Achievement Hunter. And as kind of we were talking earlier, I realized I think I know exactly what my favorite Rooster Teeth like series was, and that was their animated series, which is why I want to take a minute to just go ahead and put this mask on.
The RTAA is wonderful.
There we go. We'll just
Oh, you putting on a Gus mask?
Chandler,
go.
he beat you to it.
You one upping
beat
me
you to
here?
it. Oh yeah, it's your boy.
Funny enough, it actually matches with your hair, Chandler.
Oh.
This is great.
Rooster Teeth several years ago
man.
did a series of live events in the middle of the year for some reason. One of them was celebrating Gus's birthday, at which they gave out to everyone in attendance at the Suncoast Room, some bar off the side of Austin. These Gus masks. I've held on to this for like 5 years. I've taken it to RTXs. I just walk around like this, making everybody do a double take, thinking, "Is that Gus?" Oh no, it's just some jackass. And I'm proud to say I am that jackass.
I still say you need to laminate it.
I
Just
should.
for
The amount of
protection.
people that stopped and asked me for a photo to be not Gus. I was wearing I met Bernie Burns while wearing this mask.
The thing about Rooster Teeth is that, again, whether you love or hate it, it did make an impact in the community, and it impacted us as well. Like, without
Oh,
Rooster Teeth,
absolutely.
I don't think I would have met
I can't
any of
conceivably
you
understand
guys.
how I'd have met any of y'all.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
well,
I went
like we,
heartbroken
me and
after a serious relationship, drove down to Austin, decided to, treat yourself, girl. Uh, splurged on a hotel room, went alone, thought I'd just have some fun. In line, I was self-conscious about being alone, and social anxiety got up, so I just looked to the guy next to me. He's our old buddy Zach. Hadn't met him yet. New buddy Zach. And I'm just like, hey man, you here alone? Yeah, are you? Yeah, you want to hang out? Just walk around together? I was like, yeah. Oh, also, I met this guy in the parking lot. Can he come with it? And he just points over and there's Josh in the corner. He already has his badge and his everything on. I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go.
Yeah, we met each other RTX 2016, I
2016.
believe. Yeah, and
Holy
honestly,
crap, time is a bit.
it really the reason that we started this channel was just we wanted to
RT
try to
Fancast.
we wanted to try to emulate Rooster Teeth.
We wanted to.
We
We
started
wanted to be a
with
piece of it.
yes, we started with Otaku Corner because
Otaku
we
Corner,
we saw
And
we
that
sat in at
arguably has
their
become
anime pod.
more of our niche.
Yeah. Like we sat in at their anime panel in RTX, and it was like, "Hey, we like anime. We can do that. Let's start a podcast. Let's start a group." And
How hard can it be?
exactly. I mean,
Turns out not hard.
almost 10 years later.
Holy shit. We've been
It's
doing
coming
this a
up,
long
man.
time. And because I decided to independently go to RTX because you decided you met Zach in line, right?
I met Zach in the garage.
Yeah, you went alone too. Because the three of us happened to go alone and individually in line for badges say, hey, are you alone? Yeah. Hey, are you alone? Yeah. Hey, I met this guy in the parking garage. Can he come with us? Yeah.
I got candy.
I think you actually did have snacks on you.
I think I probably did have
Not,
snacks on me.
Through
That's
us
not true.
individually deciding, hey, this company means a lot. We're strangers, but we know we have something in common. Let's walk around. Let's talk. Let's hang out.
Yeah,
We
sweet.
have started something I think is really important to me. Just Zeros to Heroes. We have gone to conventions all over the state, doing our professional jackassery on the road. We've done conventions and shows and game shows and talk shows, lots of shows. You get the gist. We've gotten to meet such amazing and interesting, wacky, crazy people. And hell, we lived together for a while.
Yes, we
You
did.
saved my ass when I had to emergency move out of Houston. And
just this last year, Chandler
Right.
met Brick.
I met the voice actor
I
of
was
Brick
so-
on
I
accident.
was so jealous.
Now
So
a point
jealous.
I'm just now realizing, Josh, if I had not gone to RTX in 2016 and said hi to Zach, who said hi to you, and us, we didn't start this, I would have never met Rachel. I would not have met my fiance. I would
And
not
I
have.
almost left you guys too. Like I trailed along behind you guys.
Yeah, you almost.
for
We
a
were like,
minute.
no, come on, you're coming with us.
Yeah.
Like we would not have been at Comic Palooza 20, or I should know the year we met, 2019. Have been in that line with James, who will get on here in a minute, and Cameron, a good old buddy of ours. I would not have been in that line to have just met Rachel if I hadn't met Josh, or if I had met James through you. I would not have been wearing a 3-piece suit at his panel, in which I would later meet my fiance.
And yeah,
I'm just now realizing the scope of how deciding to be a Rooster Teeth fan has set the literal course of my life.
yes, absolutely. Speaking of James, let's
Speaking of Jimmy, my boy.
yeah, speaking of my boy, the dude, once again, the dude who made that amazing
Wonderful
intro.
intro.
Let's bring him
I'm
on.
not crying.
Our very first guest, James Pixelation. How you doing, my man?
Hey, buddy.
Welcome in, bud.
Hey, how's it going?
It's
Going
going
alright.
good. It's going
Audio
good.
is kind of. Oh, I'm doing good. The audio on my end is a little bit janky, but as long as it's not a problem for y'all, then we're good.
I mean, we got yeah. We're
Depending
fine.
how fast you can drive to
but
my place and join me on camera.
That is true. You guys live in the relatively
As-
same.
As long as y'all can hear me, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
I
we can hear
won't
you, bud.
Go into the spiel that I won't go into the spiel that I did last time. I'll be very quick. But like my literal first experience with Rooster Teeth is one of my videos being posted on the forums and being like, "Wow, I've never heard of this site before. This is kind of neat," and then never touching them again until RWBY.
Man,
So-
I missed. I wasn't in the community back when like the RT site and the forums were like the early stages of Reddit. That's where everyone was. That's where everyone
Right.
knew each other, and that's
But,
where
like,
most of
honestly-
the Guardians and employees came from the early days. I missed those
Right.
early days.
But
Mhm.
like, honestly, one thing that I did want to mention is in regards to like Rooster Teeth kind of changing the course of your life. Like I went to Baylor. I was in Waco for 4 years, and towards the end of my career there, I was like, I really want to work for Rooster Teeth because I was like really like I wanted to write for their various narrative
Oh,
projects.
every single fan had the little. One day I want to be on that podcast. What if they talk to me? What if they bring me
Right,
on?
exactly, exactly, and so my thing was like, oh, I want to live in Austin, and maybe that will get me one step closer. And I did not go immediately after I got out of school. I went to Midland, and that was not Austin. And then I finally made it to Austin, and so and that's where I stayed for 7 years. So I literally don't. Y'all are right. I mean,
You're
without
round rock
the
trash, and you know it.
without
Round rock
without
is great. I'm just giving you shit, buddy.
without the seed of like Rooster Teeth, none of us would be doing this shit, and that's cool as shit. I love it.
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I know y'all. I
In
know.
little and
I get
small ways, it's affected so many people.
I get the feeling like Taylor was saying earlier. There's about cursing, and I get the feeling like we want to stop. So I apologize in advance.
Yeah, that's a
but
bad habit. If I need to shut up, just tell me to shut up.
No, you're
I
fine.
will watch myself if I need to.
Now, speaking of Guardians, I want to bring on our next guest. He has been a multi-year Guardian at Rooster
Guardian.
Teeth and various other Rooster Teeths. Our RTX
The man, the myth, the
Austin's
legend.
Seth,
Sethy
my
boy!
man, Seth.
Welcome on. How you going,
One of
Sal?
my favorite parts of RTX is I never know where I'll run into Seth, but I know eventually I will. And then we'll stop and talk for 30 minutes.
Eventually, you will find me.
Oh, he's
am
around.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
always there, watching, waiting. But yeah, no, yeah, well, was a RTX Guardian. I guess I'm not anymore. Thanks, WB.
I mean, let's see if they sell me the rights to the name. I'll make you in what's the word?
Perpetuity?
Perpetuity. In
There you go.
perpetuity, I can make you the Rooster
Pepperoni.
Teeth Guardian if I am sold the naming rights.
That's right. We'll do our own RTX
In pepperoni.
with blackjack.
And
And lakes.
But yeah, no, I've been a part of this for the whole 21 years, which is crazy to think because I'm 31 now.
Were you at the first one?
Yes, I was at the very first one.
When it was in a field?
Yeah, where it was only supposed to be like, I don't remember. It was like supposed to be like 100 people or something.
Dang.
Like
And
4,000
the
showed
side
up?
Messed up and thousands showed up. Yeah, I was part of that. That was fun. But yeah, no, I stumbled upon the Rooster Teeth
GFC, I like
way
that.
back, 2003. I think probably a week or two after that very first episode of Red versus Blue. Someone sent me a link and was like, "Hey, check this out. You like Halo?" And that was it. It was all went downhill from there.
Yeah.
I always wanted to apply to be a Guardian, but every year without fail, from 2016 to last year, I always forgot about it, and then I would look it up, and it closed like 2 days before. Every year, I missed it by like 3 days.
The only reason I got to be a Guardian is because of the Rona. The Rona killed everything, but also gave me the opportunity to be a Guardian because they had to end up. So that was 2022 was our first in-person one, and so they changed it to where we couldn't do international Guardians.
So they needed to draw from the local pool.
Yeah, so they had to draw from like the U.S. Part of that reason was because they switched over to a pay scale, so the Guardians were being paid.
You get
so we
paid?
couldn't have them. Yeah. The last 2 years we got paid.
I just remember because 2022 RTX was their first pre-coronavirus one.
Yeah.
And again, I go alone because Josh was working, and I was just like, it's RTX, of course I'm going. Splurged a bit too much money, crashed with my buddy Ilya down in Austin. And I'm just walking around, I'm alone, and I'm like, got a drink in my hand, and then I see you next to the dive pool. I'm like, Seth, yeah! Sorry for the screaming. And we just hang out and talk for like 30 minutes, and then we'd wander around. Then like an hour and a half later, I'd bump into again, like, hey, how you been for the last hour?
Yeah, well, it was hard not to run into me because both years I was on expo floor. So
Yep, and that's where that's where we spend most of our time.
Speaking of RTX and communities, these next three people I am going to be bringing on right one after the other. She is a literal rain of sunshine and is playing Baldur's Gate 3 on Twitch.
Ooh. Oh, hold. I have a question about that. Let's get her in here.
Hell yeah.
Pink Sunshine cosplay.
Welcome in.
Hi.
What class?
Ooh, this is good.
Which one of my games?
Oh, that's
Exactly.
fantastic. And I have 3 of them.
I have 250 hours in this game. I have a couple answers.
See, when it came to Xbox, I was so happy. That's all I've been. That and Stardew.
I started on Xbox, and then my fiance got his own PC set up. So now I have this.
Now you're hogging it. Now it's your PC setup.
So now it's my PC setup.
Now it's the Baldur's Gate desk.
This is the Baldur's Gate desk. It's also my work desk. No, but that's so. On to Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Based on, huh?
Hold on. You're the first.
What was your first class? I do want an answer to that question. I love D&D. A bard.
Yes, a bard. I'm bisexual.
You got to do a bard sometime.
Bard,
See,
okay?
On a tabletop, bards, endless potential. Within that game, I feel they're a little too restrictive. Like, I feel like to me, the fun of being a bard is getting away with crap that should not work and just testing the limits of the DM.
Yeah, I mean, like,
fair enough.
But it was my first time. It was my first time playing the game, so I just made like
That's
my
fair.
first.
I do love
D&D
bards. Don't get me
character.
class. I do. It was my first.
But hey.
Tempest cleric all the way, baby.
It's much harder as a bard than it is in my fighter file. I will say.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
Anyway, so
So Rooster Teeth. My story's not too different from Josh. Just despite everything about me, RWBY is actually not what got me into Rooster Teeth.
She says while wearing.
Yeah, I know. It's the other way around. While RWBY is what got me into cosplay, RWBY is not my foray into Rooster Teeth. It was probably around 2013. I would have just finished high school, and a friend of mine found Rage Quit through like when Slender was really popular. So that would have been 2012. But yeah, so I found Rage Quit first, and then one of my other friends started watching RTAA. But what really, really got me into Rooster Teeth was I met my now fiance during a college event, and we were going to a haunted house. So like Slender got brought up, and I brought up Rage Quit, and he was like, oh, "You watch Rooster Teeth?" And that was we're getting married now. Like my entire adult life is not the same without Rooster Teeth. Like that's how we really started talking. And my first con was RTX 2016, and I fell so in love with RWBY that I wanted to start cosplaying. And because I started cosplaying, and because I liked RWBY, I met so many people. I met you guys. Like there's people waiting to come on stage that I've met that are some of my best friends. And
2016 was such a good RTX.
It was my very first one.
A great year.
I was walking around in like not this big, but like a much worse orange wig and various Nora themed t-shirts. And I was just losing. I was like, I want to do this like for real. And so the next year I like had a proper like volume 4 Nora cosplay, and that was like and a Neon cosplay. Neon Cat was my other first RWBY cosplay. It was like, and it's like that was just. It was both it was like that was 7 years ago, but also like that was yesterday. Like
I know, right?
Yeah. Like
it was.
Time isn't real, and it just.
Every now and then, Snapchat's like, "Hey, remember 6 years ago when you were in the Austin Convention Center?" I'm like, "I do. I don't need a reminder. I'm still thinking about it."
I don't need to know that it was 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Now these next two that are coming on, they have their own story. They have their own story from RTX Austin. Let's give it up for she's Nora, he's Ren. It's Bubbly Waffle and Trident Production.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's been a minute, y'all. How you doing?
Oh, can't complain too much. You know,
still making awesome, cool stuff.
Slowly, yeah.
This is a slot that Trident made with our 3D printer. It's a
I
little
want a
flimsy,
3D print, but I'm
and
just
it
a
hangs on
basic
my
bitch.
little
Still learning it. We've had the printer for like 6 years, and just now getting it set up recently, and you know.
That face is not to you. The face is to the ratio of this drink I made.
But so
it's awful.
So my story with Rooster Teeth is a little weird and varied, but I remember because there's a cat in the background going nuts.
Look, the cat's a fan too. It's okay. We get it.
We get it.
They're getting treats. So
I put my dogs.
Either middle school or high school. The year exactly is kind of hazy. but I remember being at a like district band competition, waiting in this random high school gym in the middle of nowhere, Iowa, and one of the drummers had brought with him his Xbox and a little old CRT TV and had it set up so they could play games while we're waiting for us to go up.
That's brilliant.
Oh,
Lugging
that's
around a
That's
CRT.
old school band
It was
kid
old.
shit.
I just dated
Oh.
myself there so
Dude,
bad.
I love our flat screens, but nothing matches the feeling of plugging like a PS2 or an
Oh,
OG
yeah.
Xbox into a
Yep.
clunky
Tube
CRT with
TVs
the
were
red,
awesome.
the yellow, the white. After playing, you would turn it off, run your hand across the
Just
screen, and
the-
just taste
the
the
fuzz.
static.
Yeah. And can we?
Yep.
Can I just say, God bless him for being able to just lug that thing around.
Oh, yeah.
CRTs are
Well, I mean, he was a drummer. He
heavy.
was probably ready for
I
that
mean,
shit.
yeah,
huh?
he was ready.
He's got it
But-
strapped to his chest like the drum.
Oh yeah,
I remember
like the quads.
That's how
I
we smuggled it
remember-
in. It's inside the drum on his
there we go.
chest.
Inside the big bass drum. Yep.
There you go.
But he had put in a DVD of Red versus Blue, so like old school, like early seasons, and I watched a few episodes with him. Didn't really hang out with him a whole lot, just because different people.
Gross
and whatnot.
drummers.
Exactly. I'm a trumpet player. Okay. Percussion is its own
Woodwind
thing.
all the way.
Yeah.
And you're getting
That's
married to a heavy vocalist. Okay,
Well, you
let's
know.
go.
I was also a
Um,
vocalist. I did everything in high school.
So
I'm tone deaf.
early years of Red versus Blue is when I started, but then I kind
More
of
than one
fell
way.
off and didn't get back into it until I was in my freshman year of college, and I watched Red versus Blue pretty religiously for a few years, along with a few of the other random shows. Do you remember Achievement Horse?
Horse.
Oh my
Horse.
god!
Yeah.
Achievements of the week.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fails of the week. Fails of the week.
And then kind of fell off again for a few years until one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, I cosplayed from this show. I think you might like it." So I started watching. And it was like, "Oh, yeah, this is RWBY. This is nice. I like it." I came in like season 3, and I had a whole bunch of stuff going on to get caught up.
The perfect.
Oh,
RWBY
arguably the perfect
season
time.
3, I think, was like perfect harmony in the Rooster Teeth fandom.
Yep. And
Definitely
then,
was.
Around season 3 was like season 13 of Red versus Blue, I want to say. Season 12, 13. It was in the
Who
Chorus
knows?
trilogy. Like, seasons 1 through 10 wrapped up. Arguably a perfect story to me. But the Chorus trilogy hitting home strong. Season 12. Thank you, Orc the Jester from our chat. I've been reading you. I appreciate you. Like, season 12, we're in the middle of the Chorus trilogy. Volume 3 wraps up. There's like a perfect harmony. Achievement Hunter's in its stride. The podcast is hitting hard.
that
Every
was perfect years for it.
it was fine. That was perfect back then.
And so I'm been watching the show for a couple of years. Come around to 2016, and I'm seeing posts on social media from RTX of that year. I'm like, this sounds like something I'd want to do. So I'm like, okay. I narrowed it down to 2 different cons to be my first one to go to, and RTX was one of the 2. And due to it being specifically Rooster Teeth, that's what kind of won out, and me showing up that year for 2017. But that's where Trident comes from. That's because it's Neptune. But
Neptune is Carrie, right? Carrie Chakra?
yes,
Yeah.
and went there that year myself. Made a few friends. Saw Bubbly from across the con floor a couple times, and
Didn't say hi.
didn't say hi, didn't say anything until she randomly popped up on Facebook doing Nora impressions, and like, hey, I like you. Let's be in this roleplay group, and yeah, the rest
Adult, not adult role
Like,
playing. Like
RWBY OCs
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
okay, nothing, not safe for work related. Because I feel like the not super big nerds don't understand when I'm like, I met my husband in a role playing group, and they're like, and then I have to explain. I'm like, no. I'm like, we were writing fan.
That
fiction.
is an
I hate
interesting
fan
I
sentence.
can't touch you because
I'm like,
I
you
can't touch
need
you
to
because the
written
reason I first
fan
reached out to you
fiction.
was on my Nora themed RP
Uh-huh.
Tumblr that I am content to let rot. No one go looking for it. I swear to God, please.
Does Tumblr
Some of the
still
best and worst
exist?
things
Tumblr is
I've had on
dead.
that
We don't
Tumblr.
talk about it.
Oh, yeah. What happens on
Tumblr
Tumblr
RPF
stays
about
on
me and
Tumblr.
my best friend on that website. We don't need to talk about RWBY Tumblr anymore. Let it rot.
Ooh, I have never looked into RWBY Tumblr, but at the moment, I'm currently glad I did.
Yeah,
That
no.
seems like an interesting
I've never
like a can of
seen the.
worms.
I know.
hole
I
to
knew
fall
people
down.
shipped us. I knew people shipped me and my friend. I know people shipped us. He got accused of cheating on me with his real girlfriend. I didn't know about the RPF until like a couple years ago. I've never seen it. I don't want to see it. Whenever I talk about it, people give me what I can only describe as the CPS stare. Like when you know that thing when you're talking about something that happened in your childhood and all your friends start looking at you like someone should have called someone
Oh, like
about this.
the oh honey,
Oh,
the
this is
southern
like-
oh sweetheart.
Yeah, that's like,
Oh, yeah,
oh,
bless
Oh
bless
your
your
heart.
honey.
heart. Oh,
Bless
bless
your
your heart.
heart.
You're like, no, oh, this was actually a bad thing, and I should be more upset about it.
Oh, I should have
To me, it's
talked
like
to
so
an adult
funny.
about being locked on a school bus for 3 hours. Okay, I didn't know that.
That
My bad.
happened to me. That
That happened to me.
happened to me.
So
I got-
before
I got locked on a school bus in Mexico.
So before we go any further, she's cackling her ass off in the background. Let's bring her on here. It's the goblin queen herself,
Oh
Monica
shit!
the
I'm
Lion.
so sorry we hadn't brought you
Welcome
on
in,
sooner.
Monica.
Sorry,
Oh,
Monica.
How are
enjoying
you?
listening to everybody's stories.
Oh, look at that beautiful grid, the tic-tac-toe grid, 3x3.
Uh-oh. Where'd your camera
Top center, hell yeah.
Pleases the brain.
go?
How you doing, Monica?
I'm doing good. Even better now. I was listening to all your stories and
We're so sorry.
I can see you cackling in the background.
No,
It's like,
it's fine.
The reason
I
Josh
was-
keeps
look,
me off the
I was-
podcast is because I create tangents.
No.
I was this close to leaving a comment in the group chat, like, we need to bring
Get her
Monica
on here.
please.
Somebody tell Chandler to shut up.
Listen, all right. I was trying to guide us gently,
hey, it's 32 minutes. We have everyone,
You know-
all 9 people
You
on.
know that
This
word
is
can't
progress.
apply to me, buddy. You know that word
We're
can't
here.
apply
We're
to me.
together now.
But hey, it comes from a place of love. But Monica, why don't you tell us a little bit about what got you into RT and some of your good memories?
Yes, please.
Oh man, I'm gonna try really hard not to cry. I normally am not a crier. Like I
If
don't.
somebody
cry.
else cries, I will start.
But,
like-
I
I'm gonna cry.
I
Really?
will
Like-
start.
Lovely, definitely will.
I
I'm
know.
3
I know.
drinks
I'm-
in.
look,
Want me to play the intro again?
No,
No, we can do that.
I
That's a
had
good
to
idea.
tell Josh-
Run
do
the
it.
intro.
Us too.
I
Yeah, I
need to
had to tell
cry.
Josh, I was like, look, I gotta go for a little bit because like I had to go get a tissue. Like it was gross. Like mocos was coming out of my nose. and, like,
Los mojos.
it was nasty. So I had to leave and go wipe my face. But yeah, I got into RT through
I'll be right back,
RWBY.
guys.
I guess many other people, it was like a really nasty breakup that I was going through, and I was
Hey!
like super lonely. And
Let's go.
yeah, I somebody had, I don't know if anybody remembers Periscope. No.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. So I was all over Periscope all the time. Like I was just like drinking and like having a good time and
Oh, I see
talking
you.
about like the different, things I wanted to do, and I wanted to cosplay after this breakup. I was like, he never let me do this. He never let me play games. He never, and so somebody
Hey,
was like,
where does he
they
live?
mentioned,
No,
what?
get the big one.
What?
I can spoon out his eyes.
What
I
did
gotta
I-
get
We ride at dawn. Grab your various
Let's
weaponry.
go.
All
It,
right,
like,
hold on. I'll
glitched,
get
and
it.
all
One
I heard
moment.
was
He
riding
run
on.
a grip ball.
So I don't know what happened.
I didn't get to tell my story. I want Monica to tell hers first, but
Oh, the long story short, it was a bad breakup. Somebody mentioned RWBY to me, started watching it, fell in
That's
love,
her.
and the rest is history.
Hunter's got the hammer on.
I'll
I'm
get my
ready.
pirate sword
I'm
and
ready.
my lightsaber. He'll be confused. We roll
I've
up.
And
got,
my
I've
hammer.
got 3 lightsabers.
Oh, is that because of the person I was talking about?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got
Oh, yeah.
it. I'm
Oh
ready.
shit! I
Point
was
him
like,
at-
I don't know
Rolling
what I
up.
missed,
Hey,
but
where
like,
does he live? Give me an address.
he lives in Texas.
I got some
he lives
cousins
in
in waste
Florida.
management. We can take care of
The
this right now. Hold
woodlands. Ah, gross.
on.
Yeah,
I have a car
So-
now. I can drive.
Good
Yeah.
people don't live in the woodlands.
I don't know where he lives, and I don't care.
The woodlands are
Heck
fine.
yeah, but
it's a
that's the best
Houston
reaction.
suburb.
Monica, as you were saying, you're going through this breakup. You're on Periscope. You're living your best life.
Well, I'm living my best life now. At the time, it wasn't my best life, and so I went to my first RTX was 2016. 2016 or 2015, I don't remember which one.
How's
was,
it
but
everyone's first RTX was around 2015-16?
Best year, baby.
It really was. It
It's
was
the
some of the I like
Rooster
met
Teeth
like,
Renaissance,
some-
I guess.
It's
Yeah.
I
It's
love
when all the
that.
cool people showed up. That's what I heard.
It's true.
That's
It's
insider
about right.
sources tell me.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. Anyway, I met really, really cool people. And the saddest thing is this past year, 2023, the last one. I was like, fine, because I'm a very, very shy person. So it's finally starting to break out of my shell, and I was like, all right, every year, like I keep getting like more and more, like people will invite me places, and I'll go. And so I was like, I had all these aspirations for 2024, and when they mentioned that they didn't have it, I was like, oh, please don't be the last one, like please.
I am very upset that I was not able to go to 2023 this past year. The last RTX, possibly.
Hey, asterisk.
Same.
If they sell me the rights, I'll host my own.
That's what I'm saying.
So speaking of that, we're hosting a
Sorry, Beck.
homebrew
RTX
Homebrew
with strippers.
RTX.
I've seen that. Yeah.
I mean, they used to have, what was it? They used to have the RTX TO, the Canadian fan con.
Yeah,
They used to talk on the podcast a lot. I think that's where like Barbara hooked up on them.
yeah. We're currently working on a homebrew version of
Homebrew.
RTX.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we mentioned on this iteration of the stream before it went down and we had to start again. I have emailed Warner Media to see if I can buy the rights to the name Rooster Teeth.
He's still waiting to hear back.
Still waiting to hear back.
He does.
Still
We'll
waiting to hear
make sure
back.
to do something funny.
Oh,
That's a promise.
I'll take out a loan if I have to. I talked to my fiance already. She's fine with it.
I'm sure you could fan source it from
If
somewhere.
Rachel will be the first lady of Rooster Teeth, all right, we'll do something with it.
You know
Gotta
what,
get it,
Kronk, I'll
gotta
tell
get
you
it.
what.
They
Kronk,
probably
you-
won't email me back, but
Kronk, you can cut me in on that. I got you, buddy.
You got to get a
got
few
you.
$1,000.
Oh, Monica blipped out.
No, she's
Oh.
fine. She's fine. She's fine.
what was the RTX where they had the it was the Mike's Hard Lemonade booth and the Disco Shark.
That was 2016. I remember the Disco Shark.
Yeah, they had a mechanical bull, but it was a disco covered shark.
Are you sure that was 2016 or that was 2017?
It could have been 2017.
I
Those first
vaguely
ones are,
remember
like,
that.
run together for me a
They
little.
would give you free samples of Mike's Hard
I feel
Lemonade,
like-
so I spent the
here's what I
entire day
think it was
there.
2016, because 2016 that was
In
when
the
when
voodoo
I was
bar?
21, but the friend I was hanging out with was only 20. So we were
Oh, that's awful.
Danny and I were her booze suppliers. So I feel like the alcohol booze I was hanging out with her, so I didn't go to the alcohol.
Zeros
booth,
to
even
Heroes
though I
does not
could.
endorse giving alcohol to minors.
That's right.
Quick nudge, nudge.
Statute of limitations
That's,
expired. This was
that's
8
a
years ago.
But boy, it sure is easy. I mean, what?
Yeah, no one gave us shit. No one gave a shit because he went into the liquor. This is not. We're not talking about housekeeping crimes on podcast.
Crime,
Hang on.
crime, crime, crime.
Crime. Oh,
So
Got it.
real quickly, I do want to go over the actual news. So this, what was it? It was Friday,
it was
wasn't
Wednesday.
it?
No, it was
Wednesday. So this past
Wednesday.
That's
Wednesday,
on a
Because my birthday is
Wednesday.
this coming Wednesday, and I keep saying if this had come out this coming Wednesday,
Oh.
I would have started screaming.
yeah. So this
It's my birthday. And
this
is
past
Friday.
Wednesday, Warner Bros. Discovery. I want to emphasize Warner Bros. Discovery announced that they were shutting down Rooster Teeth, and on social medias, on like online news sites, and that is how a lot of the employees found out that Rooster Teeth was shutting down. Sadly enough, and that sucks. Rooster Teeth went through a whole process. They had a meeting. They had a live stream the very next day, that
Dude,
Thursday.
those clips hurt.
The
Oh,
clips
man.
hurt.
Those clips hurt to
Anytime
watch.
Jeff Ramsey starts crying, that's it. Game over. I need to stop.
I said it years ago on a podcast, but it's before he got remarried. I was like, man, I'll date Jeff. I just want him to be happy.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Jeff is like the entire internet's like fun drunk uncle, right? Like he's the uncle where like
Not
you
drunk
did
anymore.
get an F
not
and get
drunk over.
suspended, but then he's like, you know what?
He turned his life
Hey
around.
kids, I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up. We're gonna go get ice cream.
2017.
If I buy the rights to Ruth, I understand it's not probably going to happen, but the law of infinite probability says I might become the owner of the name Rooster Teeth. If that happens, I'm giving it to Jeff. I'll sell it to him for $1.
So 2017.
$1 and a high
Steve,
five.
Jeff, 2017, Danny and I were we were one of the finalists to be on the relationship goals podcast panel for that year.
Oh, nice.
We were obviously weren't one of the selected couples. One of the selected couples actually are friends of ours now. They were from RTDFW, and we ended up going to our first RTDFW meetup after that because it was our first year in the DFW area.
The Dallas Fort
Anyway.
Worth people are cool.
Yeah. Anyway, the
Also, shout out to RC Houston. Love you guys.
the where this is all going. We met Jeff and Griffin after the panel, and a few months later they announced they were getting divorced. But it also puts this picture into a lot of context. Like, look how far Jeff is trying to not be in this picture. I'm trying so hard. To
Yeah, he's on the edge there.
So, yeah, that's me and Griffin, and then Jeff is like doing the I don't really want to be here right now. She's like, man, knowing what we know now, is like this is
a bit of a rub.
This is probably one of my favorite memories though now.
The community does like to kind of ignore the fact that they had a relationship podcast right before the split there.
Yeah.
So
Michael and Lindsay.
one of the good things about the live stream that they had this past Thursday is the fact that they mentioned that Warner Bros. Is giving them 60 days to wind down. So they're not shutting down immediately.
Required to do.
Yeah, they're not shutting down immediately.
I could be wrong here. I believe I read somewhere, because obviously I've been reading it on this. It means a lot to me. The podcasts, Face Jam, Fuckface, sorry, F, bleep, face, possibly Tales from the Stinky Dragon, the podcasts they have, anyway.
The Roost.
Possibly. Those might continue under the umbrella of Warner Brothers.
That is what they're saying. They're saying that they're shopping, or they're considering shopping around the IPs of Genlock, RWBY, and Red versus Blue.
I can't afford any of those.
But
I'll place a bid on RT. I can't afford RWBY. RWBY fans are feral. No offense. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a way that someone is willing to pay more than I am.
I hope Crunchyroll gets
yeah, I'm surprised
RWBY.
Crunchyroll hasn't already gotten it.
I
and
feel
like that's
Crunchyroll's
Warner
got a
Bros.
good
fault.
claim, and I feel like they could, if not finish the story, then at least do it right.
Yeah.
Not that RT did it wrong, obviously, but
yeah, well,
I feel like they could carry that spirit. Ship a Theseus, that shit.
If they own that IP, then they could make spin-offs and things of that nature, and I trust Crunchyroll to have mature storytelling enough to be able to keep the same spirit.
I feel, guys, I do feel like the Crunchyroll's argument is probably, like, I see what y'all are saying, that's very possible, but they have enough baggage when it comes to, like, bringing back and
yeah, let's not forget High Guardian
I'm not saying
Spice.
I think that they ruined it, but like the consensus is that the show was ruined. That it's one of those things where I don't know if I would touch it if I were them.
But they also,
like for example, like
but
with
they also
Crunchyroll-
already had exclusive
if
rights to
RWBY
Volume
was
9 for the first year.
Yeah,
Like, that relationship is already there.
RWBY has the main show. It's
yeah,
got
it is.
the manga. It's got the anime spin-off of the anime-inspired show. There's enough money behind and willingness to watch the RWBY IP, or read, whatever, that I feel like they could do something with it.
It
may not be the best option, but the best option is RT holding onto it, and that's unfortunately...
If they wanted to stay local or stay, like, US based, I would love for Powerhouse Animation to take over.
Powerhouse Animation. Who's Powerhouse Animation?
They did Castlevania.
Oh.
They did Blood of Zeus.
Oh, okay. That animation, RWBY ported to that, I would watch
and direction would work really well. Yeah, I would screech.
Another thing that I wanted to mention is like, so I was thinking about it this past 6 months. Basically, I said it at a recent panel that I did at the con, that I feel like and maybe this is just me. I don't know how y'all feel about Ice Queendom, but I feel like the RWBY formula translated to anime just did not work for me. And I feel like if Powerhouse took it over, wouldn't they just do it in 2D and not 3D? And I feel like that's part of the core identity of RWBY is 3D.
Oh,
Like,
I don't think they would. I don't think they would necessarily turn it into 2D. They probably would use the same.
Is anyone else having a little bit of trouble hearing James?
Because I don't.
Just a little.
See,
Jimmy,
I
my
like
boy,
Ice
we're having a
Queendom.
little
Is it
bit
just
of
like
trouble
low
hearing.
volume, or is it?
No,
little bit of
it's-
glitchiness.
It's your network issues, but
I do think maybe not necessarily full 3D. I feel like RWBY would transition, if not completely, fairly well to 2D.
2.5D?
Specifically the Castlevania style. That show is.
Yeah. That show does
I
really
liked
well.
what Ice Queendom did with their animation, specifically because they looked at Nora and said, "Fuck it, full magical girl."
Yeah, Nora.
Yeah.
Still need to watch that, but now I'm even more hyped
Everything
for it.
about what she did in those first three, in episode 2, I think, like where they were redoing the initiation episode, I was like, "This is magical girl shit." I
Sailing
love
on the hammer.
the sailing on the hammer and like with the sound effects, with the fucking Sailor Moon sound effects. I'm like, this is
The
the
music
Nora,
dies out, and all you hear is "ha
This
ha."
is my Nora Valkyrie.
Yeah.
It. I love Rooster Teeth. We did a podcast years ago where I got obliterated drunk to the point where I hope Josh has deleted the evidence of that because I said some embarrassing shit.
I don't know.
I think we just called it "Thank You, Rooster Teeth." It was pretty soon after we met. Rooster Teeth means, now that I'm actually taking a moment to think about it, I owe Rooster Teeth my current life. Between the cons that we do, the shows we have, the friends we've made, meeting every single person here, my fiance, where I live, my dogs, every aspect of my current life kind of traces itself back to that decision to go to RTX alone.
Yep.
If I
Definitely does.
skipped 2016, I would not be sitting right here with those dogs, with my fiance at work. I would not be engaged. I would not be infinitely happier than the person I was. It means so much to the. Here's how much Rooster Teeth means to me. You all know Manglu cosplay, right? Casey, Necromancer group, RWBY. We all meet her everywhere. At RTX, she does the RWBY pajama party panel, informal meetup. You know, it's a part of it.
Yeah.
At that event a few years ago, I was just eating a box of Cheez-Its. This box of Cheez-Its is 6 years old.
No, you
I still have
that?
every single signature from every panel attendee there.
Awesome.
Just
Wait,
because.
6 years ago, 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
I might be on there.
Probably.
I'll say,
Yeah,
I
it was
think
just
I'm
me,
on there.
Same.
super drunk, walking up to people with a Sharpie. Hey, you want to sign my Cheez-Its?
Because I almost got, because I was in a group at that meetup where we almost got us all kicked out of the Marriott because we were playing
You're
Cards
on
Against
here.
Humanity.
Yep, because you're on here.
Yeah, we were playing
Somewhere,
someone
you're
pulled
on
the-
here.
Someone
Which
pulled
is
the
an
Unlimited Soup-
insane coincidence, the
Oh,
fact
no,
that
it
you're
was
here
my
today.
fault that we almost got kicked out of the Marriott because
what'd you do?
I played the unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks card
Oh, shit.
with a group of Rooster Teeth fans who immediately everyone started screaming.
Cheddar
at a
Bay
hotel-
Biscuits!
And immediately a hotel employee just teleported to.
I was sober enough to remember that screaming. That I was there. That was this year. You're on this Cheez-It box. Everyone in attendance there signed this box.
I'm amazed you still have that box.
Do you think I'd
Honestly.
ever get rid of this?
Are the Cheez-Its
Wait.
still in there?
No, I ate those Cheez-Its that night.
Okay.
That was
6-year-old
Cheez-Its. He was
Cheez-Its.
drunk.
That was iconic. Are
On
the
top
Cheez-Its
of
still in
that
there?
night,
God tier.
when the Cheez-It box ran out of room, this Pecos Pete mug. I had everyone else sign this.
Have one of those.
Also, wait. There's an important question here, Crunk. How
What's
many moves has that Cheez-It box survived?
4.
Ooh.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my
that's
goodness.
crazy.
And
It
there's
means
no
a lot to
sprinkles?
me.
And again, it goes back to what you said. I was there alone. Like my fiance was, that picture is also from 2018.
The
with death picture,
coincidences
and he
in the
was,
Rooster Teeth
He
community
was a
are
VIP. He
outstanding.
got VIP, and I, my job could not swing VIP.
Mine either.
So I went to the.
Mine
So he
never
was
could.
doing something. He went to the platinum party, and I went to the PJ party by myself. And so
I was in a penguin
I met
onesie.
Bubbly and Trident went there, and y'all were there, and yeah, just I went by myself, and
Tried it. You're on here.
Am I?
Yeah. But you
Sweet.
and Bubbly. Every now and then, that's to pick us up and read it.
Reunion
Oh,
stream?
I
I
vaguely
haven't
remember
been-
that.
I haven't
mine
mentioned
wouldn't
my
be this
story
username
about
because
Rooster
this was a rebirth.
It's blurry. Trident Productions, right? Here.
Yeah, I can't see that at all.
It's not coming into focus. That camera's not helping you.
I'm a 2005 Lenovo camera. That's not going to read. But you're on here, buddy.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
mine probably would have been my actual name, like Abby Rose.
To
'cause I
track
wasn't-
a
I-
few
this was,
coincidences back from that, I only went to that because I met Casey Mangaloo on the podcast we started during we did a cosplay special.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Before I met Casey, I have a photo with her as her Mechromancer Gage / Ruby, her Borderlands Ruby crossplay from that 2016. I saw her, took a photo with her, later had her on our podcast, didn't realize it was her, freaked the hell out, and then I kept subsequently every year going to her thing.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah, no,
The incredible amount of coincidences
Oh, we
and
lost Monica.
no,
She's fine.
she'll be back.
Yeah, she's.
Rooster Teeth means so much to so many people, and if I stop
I
to
miss-
think about how much it's set up my current life, I will cry.
I miss dancing in the RWBY panels.
Yes,
Ruby-
me and my friend
Off topic.
we started the conga line in 2017 in Yang and Nora, and then
I was there.
a few years. Yeah, Trident was there, and he has a video of it on Facebook, and I posted like, I know I'm in this video. I see myself right here. We started that.
I wasn't
And then
in
we
the
were,
line
like,
because I was
on
in
Tum-
the Iron Vav armor that year.
I was definitely in that line, and I have a video of it.
Yeah, so we started dancing, and then it turned into a conga line, and I saw us in GIFs on Tumblr later. Like, we just wanted to dance because like there was no like line into.
This
the
is
panel.
gonna
We just had to
sound
wait
like
in the
bullshit.
panel.
I was in that line, and so was Josh.
Yeah,
We were at that Ruby panel. We saw a conga line go by. We don't not join a conga line.
Don't not
Yeah,
join
you
a
don't-
conga
Of
line.
No,
course.
not. You don't ignore a conga.
We had to
I'm pretty sure
apologize
that's the
to so
law,
many
yeah.
guardians. We felt very bad.
I feel
No. The Guardians love it. We've
I know
had
the Guardians
stories
loved it, but
about
y'all got in trouble with we got us on trouble with the convention center. The convention center didn't appreciate it, like because fire marshal
No,
something
no,
or
yeah, no,
other.
Ah, fire safety codes. Who cares?
Chandler, you remember the year where we were in the RWBY panel? They were showing the crowd, and I gave you my Stormtrooper helmet, and you just kept dancing away, and they showed you
Oh
on the
yeah, I
big
put on a stormtrooper helmet and just started dancing. I was drunk. If you hand drunk Kronk anything, he's gonna run with it.
I can confirm this. I've been to a couple cons now with Kronk, and you get a couple drinks in that guy, and he is a party animal. It's great.
The other thing that happened at RTX 2018 that it took
That was such a good year.
7 years for this to come to. But hang on, how many years has it been since 2018?
Five, 6.
So 5 years.
Please don't
It
ask
took
me. I was
5
about
years
to
to
say I'm
come to
really bad at
fruition.
math.
But as I mentioned, maybe this was on the other one, or maybe this was before we started streaming. I at the Sunday after RTX 2018 went to Buffalo Billiards like many people do, and somebody let me order a bunch of adios motherfuckers.
Yeah!
And
Drink of
Drunk
champions.
Drunk Abby grabbed her then boyfriend, now fiance, by the face. And this is because Bubbly and Trident had gotten engaged the day before.
Yeah,
Passed out at
I
their
remember.
engagement. That's a
I
different
have
story.
photos of your engagement from the audience.
I passed out at their engagement. No one noticed because everyone was celebrating except for the Ren that I was standing next to, who had been holding Trident's like props. He just gave Trident his props back, and I like tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, "Hey man, I hate to do this to you. I need you to hold this." And I hand him my Magna Hild. I'm passing out right now.
I did not even realize I was standing right there.
Oh my goodness.
And then he's just like, "I didn't think you were that excited." And then he realized that this was a medical emergency. He was like,
Oh,
I need
fuck.
a guardian.
Sorry.
I need a guardian." And I started crying because I didn't want them to call anyone. I'm like, I'm fine. I just haven't eaten all day. I'm overheated.
That
I
engagement.
remember that engagement. That was
Amazing.
adorable.
So
That was
yeah,
I
so
didn't celebrate because I passed out.
that
I passed out from celebrating.
that may have not even have happened the way it did, because we had autograph codes for it was Samantha Ireland and Elizabeth Maxwell.
Maxwell.
So we went obviously Ren and Nora because Nora
Yeah.
to get stuff signed, and the plan was to have this happen at the RWBY meetup. The line for the autographs was so long, we completely missed the majority of the photo the meetup photo shoot. And I'm sitting here texting Wesres,
Georgia.
through Instagram to say, hey, can you stall? We're trying to get there, I promise. So yeah, that we finally got out of the autograph line and ran there, and basically it immediately happened there once we got there. So that was fun. Almost didn't work the way it did, but I'm glad it did.
Josh
then
and
the
I have
next
some
night,
pretty
well, I-
sick photos from that occasion.
Send me those, because the pictures we've got mostly the blurry ones. So I would
I've
love
got a
to
pretty
see
clean
good
one
ones.
too. I'll
All
pass it along.
I know I've got one. I know I've got a little clip on like a it might be a cosplay music video or something like that. I don't know. But I know I've got something.
I know.
The next night, I'm obliterated drunk at Buffalo Billiards. I grab my then boyfriend, now fiance. He proposed 2 months later. That's another story.
Yeah.
I grabbed him by the face and I shouted at him in this crowded bar, cosplay my OTPs with me, you fuck. It's all I've ever wanted in a relationship. He did not break up with me and he still proposed 2 months later. And then back in December, I finally got him to do it. We were per Salia at this year.
Oh,
And,
You guys looked amazing, by the way.
Our whole Vox Machina group.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
adorable.
they were Vax and Keyleth, and we were
Shout out to the AMF, the cocktail known as the Adios Mother.
Adios, motherfucker. And then
Getting people
also
together
related
since
to our
2015.
My drink of choice.
Also related to our proposal at RTX 2018, he, as a platinum autograph holder, he got to go to a couple different autographs. So he managed to snag a Michael and Lindsay autograph session.
Ooh.
And he actually asked Michael for advice about proposing.
Oh, shit.
Our real life friend Charlie was Lindsay's guardian, standing right there and heard the whole thing. And he's just listening. And then Danny walks away after getting his autograph, and he's like, "So did I just hear what I think I heard?" And he's like, "Yeah, you did, Charlie.
You did. Now you're going to keep your mouth shut if you want to keep your kneecaps."
And sure enough, he kept it quiet for nearly 3 months because it was the end of October that he proposed.
You know
and
what?
RTX was the beginning of
Shout out
August.
to Charlie. He kept his mouth shut.
Oh, yeah.
Charlo,
Here's to Charlie.
There's to Charlie.
He
Cheers.
was a guardian. Seth, you might know him. Charlie was like Charlie is as a PA guardian. He was pretty renowned. He was Bernie's guardian the next year.
I see your
so
I met
you
him.
might know Charlie. Charlie was one of the founders of RTDFW, so he's one of our good friends as DFW people. And he kept it quiet for like almost.
We won't
2-3
hold it
months.
against you that you're from Dallas, Fort Worth.
I'm a
Also,
transplant. I'm not originally from Dallas. I moved
That's
down
fair.
here for.
My brother lives up there. He works for my twin. He works for Texas Instruments. I choose to believe he doesn't work for the side that chooses that makes missiles. I've been too scared to ask. He might make missiles. I don't know.
Also, let me ask
my
you guys
fiance's just
a
an
question
accountant.
really quick.
Yeah, what's up?
Can I get each of you to just say what your favorite Rooster Teeth like IP or series was? Because I feel like, I love the memories, but I also kind of want to like really hit on what was like kind of the piece of media for you that they produced.
If I can just get mine out of the way because I'm a little tipsy.
Yeah.
Entry / favorite, Red versus Blue. Everything about it. I think about Red versus Blue every 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, and
We
I
love
think
good
it's overtaken it, the F-Face podcast. The F-Face podcast. If you haven't checked out F-Face, you know what F stands for. Go to their YouTube channel and watch any of their playlists called supplemental content.
I love supplemental content.
That shit is wild.
Oh, yeah.
They do a contest to see which country, Canada, America, or England, has the best potato chips. Fluke Face.
Ooh,
Thank you, Oric the
Fluke Face
Jester.
is so good.
You watch Fluke Face.
Heck yeah.
It is the soul of original Rooster Teeth in the modern day. Because with respect to everyone, modern Rooster Teeth is very different from original Rooster Teeth in good ways and bad. It's very different. Things change, yada, 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 yada. Don't be afraid of change, kids. It's good. Just hearing Jeff, Gavin, and Andrew Patton truly appreciate each other as individuals and as people, it's brilliant. The Fluke Face podcast is pure brilliance, and I would recommend it to every single person.
Heck yeah. I'll have to I think I've seen some clips of it.
Dude,
I'll
it's
have to
so
actually
it's so
fully
good.
send it.
It's
It's
great.
so stupid. It's so good.
Who wants to hit it next?
Stupid in the good way. Stupid in the great way.
I'll start. I'll go next. So
Yes, Orc.
I really love RWBY. Like the first 3 volumes of RWBY were my all-time favorite of the series. The later seasons
We
are
used to
hit and
do
miss.
episodic breakdowns.
Yes,
I
and
remember
now
those.
we probably will never do those because
One of my highlights to this day is I drunkenly, accidentally, and correctly guessed the plot point.
Oh
Back
my
when they did
goodness.
like the whole like the vaults thing, the relics, I guessed one of the relics is a fancy hat. One of the relics is a crown, which I argue is the fanciest hat of all.
You're not wrong.
I was
You're not
right!
Jake, Gabby.
Years before it came out, I was right. Sorry, Josh, continue.
So RWBY is one of my mainstays, one that I keep going back to, just more now more than ever, just because I've invested so much time into it. Because story wise, it's up in the air. It's fine, but besides RWBY, I really enjoy Fluke Face. I also love Anima, which is ANMA, which is Gus and Jeff just talking about coffee, Austin, and their experiences now and in the past with Rooster Teeth and just life as well. Great 30-40 minute podcast. Love it. Besides that, haven't really watched or consumed much Rooster Teeth content in the past few years, just because I've
Sorry, I'm back. My dog was choking on her
disassociated
tail.
myself with them after
Enma is great.
tons of this.
Enma is
Yeah.
so happy. There's any episode of Enma is just. You know how we're talking about nostalgia right now and how much it means to us? That's every episode of Enma. I recommend every single one of them. They're brilliant.
I love when they do burger
Oh,
episodes.
the burger! I've driven to Austin to try some of those burgers.
I bet you have.
Casino El Ramino.
Casino
El Camino.
Thank you,
El Camino.
Casino El Ramino. Delicious. Not the best burger in Austin. I'm sorry, Jeff, you're wrong. Really good. Not the best.
It is a little intimidating to go get a burger from Casino El Camino.
Because you
It
gotta,
is
you gotta
really
park,
intimidating.
you gotta walk up to 6, you gotta go inside, you gotta order
we
what you
did it
want.
during RTX, so we just walk over there, and I'm just like, I am in full cosplay, and I.
See, if
feel
you're going
like I
during
don't belong
RTX,
here.
that's the move. That's the move.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me.
Does anybody else have any favorite content you want to put out there?
I mean, other than RWBY, obviously, I would probably say, I mean, RWBY, like, I got into it like about a year after I'd been into Rooster Teeth. It was 2014. I'd had the worst semester of my life as a sophomore in college. I was like at a super so it started as a really bad
It's
semester.
always
It
sophomore
ended
year.
Yeah,
Right?
It started as a really terrible semester and it ended fine. But I was like so stressed about like I thought my parents were gonna pull me out because of how bad my second semester of freshman year had gone. So I'd been
I've
spending
been
the
there.
whole thing like in a really bad place. And then I got my wisdom teeth removed 3 days before Christmas. And I was high
So
as
did I!
fuck. And I
3
was
days
high
before
as fuck
Christmas!
I was high as fuck on painkillers. I'm sorry, I keep swearing.
You're
I
fine.
was super duper high on painkillers. And I was just like, I will do anything. I would commit a felony for some spaghetti right now. What would
Thank you.
What I'm going
I
to
miss
Rooster Teeth.
Christmas
Rooster Teeth,
ham.
Save me, Rooster Teeth. And Volume 2 had just finished. So I watched Volume 2. And so I watched all of RWBY that was out at that point, which was only Volume 2. And so then I watched it again. And then I watched the trailers. And then I listened to the soundtracks, and it was game over. And then I was reading fan fiction, and that's how I met one of my other best friends because he wrote a super sad Ren and Nora fan fiction. And then 2 weeks later, Monty died, and I found him on Tumblr just to scream at him about it. And he's still one of my best friends. And like, I like thinking like already Rooster Teeth had changed my life irreparably because I'd already met my fiance through other Rooster Teeth content. And then getting into RWBY, and it just consumed me so completely. It made me want to cosplay. It made me want to go to the cons. It's how I met so many other people. Like, obviously I have to give all that credit to RWBY, but then I also have to give so much of that credit to RTAA, because that was some of the other first content that I found was those RTAAs about with like the different podcasts. I used an RTAA in a college presentation. I did a presentation on dreams and lucid dreaming, sleep, dreams, and lucid dreaming for a positive psychology project, and I used as an example one of the RTAAs about Gavin's lucid dreamings.
Okay.
Nice.
I was gonna guess it was
Nice.
Bernie's dream about Lindsay.
No, it was Gavin lucid dreaming.
Lucid
I
dreaming.
remember
is
there was like a
wild.
dream hostage RTAA, and that was really funny.
Mhm.
But
I was also at school in Monty Pass. Like I was getting ready. I walked
Yep.
into class. I got the notification, and I walked right back out. I'm just like, nope, I'm done with today. We're not going to class.
yeah, that's fair.
Fair enough.
That I think a lot of people had similar situations this past week with Dragon Ball. But
Yep.
I don't know. So I was working remote Thursday and Fridays. I work at a university, and so basically, like 8 to 9, and then 10 to 5, I work on phones, and then I have like an admin period where I could do like paperwork shit. So
yeah,
I took like a 5-minute nap Thursday, and then I was like, boss, I'm too tired to go back to work. Like she knows I have diagnosed insomnia, but in reality, I was just too fucking sad. I was crying and shit. Like, so I haven't really said much on the podcast thus far, so I'm gonna introduce myself again. So I'm Bubbly Waffle. I am the marriage partner of Trident Productions, right next to me.
Woo to both of you.
So I'm gonna
yeah.
introduce
We
what
love love.
RWBY, and RWBY's my favorite IP. And Rooster Teeth means to me really quick, and then talk about my memories and what introduced me and stuff to it. So like others, Rooster Teeth came into my life during a shitty breakup period.
Seems to be a theme
So-
with a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely a theme.
It really does.
It's just
like,
is Rooster Teeth just therapy?
Absolutely
That's
therapy.
why I'm so
Yes.
fucking sad. I lost my real therapist.
That's
and I lost my
that's a
real
rabbit hole we
therapist.
can fall down another time.
But anyways,
God
so,
knows I used it that way.
I know that I've explained this on the podcast before, but like very, very short term summary. Long story short, not short term summary. That's my memory. But, anyways,
Goldfish. Hey.
This is
Just
what I
keep
use
swimming.
every day.
Just keep swimming.
Be a goldfish, Sam.
so I went to Rooster Teeth convention 2017 with my ex and my other best friend,
Great year.
Abby. But I got introduced to RWBY like probably like 2013, like right after RWBY came out on DVD, because my ex at the time introduced me to RWBY, and then later on we went to Rooster Teeth Expo 2017, and that was like the worst RTX honestly for me, because
It was a hot year.
I was fighting with him the entire weekend. He was being an asshole to me in front of my best friend of, at that point, 20 years. At this point, almost like 26 years. And like, she was also his best friend, and she tried to talk to me about something that weekend, but I didn't like phase what she was trying to talk about, and she tried to talk about it when I was with him, and so she dropped it. It turns out that the fucker, and I don't care about me cussing because this is an effed up move. He had been planning on breakout with me for like 3 or 4 months at that point, and had told her. But
All right, everyone, grab your weapons. We roll out. I'm grabbing my sword. Okay,
This is past trauma. It's already healed.
he did not break up with me before because he didn't want to waste his vacation like being in a like a breakup with the person that's staying in the hotel room with him. But
We live in Texas.
he didn't budget correctly,
Yeah.
so I paid for everything besides the hotel.
Oh my god.
And
I'm
not even
looking for my
joking, like
sword.
2 weeks afterwards, he broke up with me, and it was like the worst breakup of my life because it was that I ever had, and he was my best friend. So I lost a friend at the same time, even though at this point he was a shitty friend, even shittier partner. Like he was like not like physically abusive, but he was like mentally abusive and like neglectful and shit. Like it was horrible. But so
I
the
put socks on a
whole
bat?
reason why I became a cosplayer and why I met my partner was I was so upset. I was in a RWBY role playing group like right before my ex broke up with me, and they were trying to cheer me up, but they're like, you can't let him ruin RWBY for you. I'm like, but he introduced me to RWBY. He introduced me to Rooster Teeth. How am I not supposed to associate those memories with this piece of shit? And because I have OCD, like that's like my whole thing, and ADHD, and I'm probably autistic, but I don't want to get officially diagnosed because
We're all a little
That's,
autistic.
that's a whole
That is
thing.
the whole like.
neurospicy.
I'm sure we're all there somewhere.
You got a rhythm with autism.
It is contagious.
so-
I'm sorry.
No,
I
it's not
posted-
contagious, but we do travel in packs. Like
Yes,
instinct.
There you go.
exactly,
Back up.
exactly. I posted random voice impressions. I didn't even call it voice acting at that point. I posted random voice impressions of me doing various different RWBY characters on my personal Facebook, and I posted it to like a Rooster Teeth Facebook group that had like 58,000 members. I
Oh,
got
that
like
one,
not
yeah.
even joking, like 300 friend requests overnight. Like I had like 15 different like adult downstairs pics from my voice impressions, which is weird, but anyways, and that's how I met my partner. They were like, hey, you're really cool, we're in a RWBY role-playing group and we should totally have you done that? I'm like, yeah, I've role-played as Nora. And he's like, oh my god, that's perfect, our Nora just left. And so
It was pretty perfect timing.
and then like we became instant best friends, and then I decided that I was going to visit him after I graduated college. I didn't end up graduating college that semester because like I almost
College is
failed everything
dumb.
that semester because of the like breakup and shit with the last dude and blah 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 blah. Anyways, I got drunk after my senior recital because my major was in vocal performance, and I was like, hey, I love sushi. And he's like, yeah, I love sushi too. And I'm like, cool. Sushi date when I get out there? And I didn't mean to use the word date. And he's like,
Your biggest mistake.
yes, of course. I was like, wait.
And now you're stuck with me.
And then I was like, oh, shit.
Forever.
Like, sure. And so we decided to meet in January of 2018, and that was the first time that I cosplayed because he cosplayed as Neptune at that point, and I got my first Nora wig. I already had the boot shirt, and I made me the boot shorts like with the lightning bolts. I hand painted those.
Oh, shit.
And like that blew up on like the Rooster Teeth and the RWBY subreddits, and it also blew up for bad reasons because I am very pale, so bruises show up like crazy on me, and so I had bruises all over my legs because I fall a lot because I pass out randomly.
And you're
And
clumsy.
like, and people were like, oh my god, did Neptune beat Nora? And like trying to be a joke, but it did not come off as a joke. But anyways,
So that's not something you joke about.
I know
Yeah.
exactly.
People are
Like 2018
nuts.
humor wasn't even like that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Edgelord humor died in that sense. Come on. And so we decided that we're gonna be cosplaying Ren and Nora, my OTP at RTX 2018. And they found out that the only saving grace for me for the 2017 RTX was that there was this Crow cosplayer on Sunday of RTX. We were in line for the Rooster Teeth store, and at that point we didn't have like platinum badges or anything like that. So you know how like the lines to get through the Rooster Teeth store at the convention was like an hour long.
Those
Um,
can get
Oh, yeah.
real long.
Like so he could tell that I was upset because like this piece of poop, ex-boyfriend, he literally rejected me kissing him in front of everybody.
Dodged a bullet there, my dear.
And so I was crying. I was like trying to
isn't
calm
enough.
down and stuff, but like
Lost my sword
there
again.
was a crow cosplayer wearing a kilt, and he's like, hey, you're the Neo that was here yesterday, right? And I was like, yeah, how could you tell? I'm like, he's like, you dyed half your hair pink. And so he showed me of somebody getting proposed to at the Rooster Teeth RWBY meetup at 2017 RTX. And so Trident remembered that was my saving grace for 2017 RTX. So then he recreated it in real life for us.
It has the tag. It's a
And
prop.
like, and it was just like perfect. And then 4 years later, we got married during RTX 2021, the virtual year. Like we literally got married the day RTX happened because we already took up that time off, and then they announced that it was going to be happening. So I was like, oh, okay, let's have a wedding. And Abby flew out for that, and it was like really nice and cute and stuff. And then we returned to RTX 2022. We didn't go to 2023, and that'll probably be my biggest regret in life.
Ditto.
And I know I promised that was the
sad
short
you guys weren't
story.
there.
That was.
That was the very short version of that story.
Like, I
Trust
didn't
me.
tell you how bad the fighting was with the ex, that I ended up taking like a 40-minute walk in downtown Austin by myself wearing shorts.
That's a choice.
And I got
That is
lost, and my
interesting.
phone battery was at 4%.
How
I
were
ended
you
up
not
in the cemetery.
murdered?
Well, because like he pissed me off.
I mean, I'm
so
glad
much
you
that I
weren't
was
murdered,
so
but
sad.
that is an achievement.
Like,
Yeah.
like that. I just was like, I need to leave because you're making me cry. And we were at like one of the like Rooster Teeth approved, barbecue restaurants. The one that's like all steel.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
Ironworks.
Yeah, there you go.
Ironworks.
Yeah, right next to the
Yeah, and so I
ACC.
ended up
Yeah.
literally just walking downtown, and a homeless man helped me find the way back to 6th Street, which was very nice of him.
Hey, yo, shout out to that homeless guy.
Homeless guy for the win.
Homeless guy, I hope you're watching.
Hell yeah.
But
Homeless guy, I hope you're now
as
having
you
a
can
home
probably
having guy.
tell,
Yes.
RWBY is my favorite IP. I did
I'm gonna put the
watch
prop back.
Red versus Blue probably up until season 11, and then I just kind of stopped because I kept forgetting about it. And then I loved most of their animation. Like the fact that we did not get a season 2 of Nomad of Nowhere is still crime. Like, I freaking love that series.
I like Nomad.
One
Nomad
of
was a good
the
show.
It was good.
one of the Rooster Teeth fans, the year that Nomad came out, he
Put
made a bunch of
googly
these
eyes
little
on a bunch of
props.
random
Yeah,
props.
I
left
still
and
have
right.
them.
Yeah.
We
He
have
gave
that
me
rock
one.
somewhere.
You
The
can
what?
keep those?
I have that somewhere.
Yeah, we have the
I thought
the
those
rock.
were still RTX crap.
No, like he made them. Like he put googly eyes and just like random
Man, I would have
shit.
brought everything home.
Yeah.
Josh
Yeah.
knows drunk
Okay, now I'm
Charles has
done.
the habit of taking things that probably
My ADHD is ADHD.
I
So
remember there was people mad
honestly
about
playing
the
Baldur's
rocks,
Gate
like, that
3
they
at the
calling
same
them
time
trash
of
or
this
something.
podcast,
That
by the
was
way.
great.
Yeah,
What's the
someone
dude
got
walk around
mad about
slapping
those rocks.
googly
I
eyes
don't
on
know.
things?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember there was
I-
a Nomad cosplayer in 2019 who was like handing out stuff. So when we were in our like punk gear, he gave me and Punk Pira sunflowers with the googly eyes on them, and I stuck it in my pocket, and I wore it like for the rest of the day. So there's pictures of me in my Punk Nora with the sunflower in my pocket.
Honestly, if Nora was a punk, she'd still have something cute on that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely, absolutely. I really miss.
Like her biker jacket is still pink, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's got spikes on it, but it's still bright pink.
It is.
I
There you
really,
go.
I really miss RT Life and Bernie's vlogs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was some pretty
I
good
want
stuff.
Bernie to hit. I shouldn't. I shouldn't say that. That's a threat of violence. Well, I mean, Bernie lives in a different country now, so it's not like it's possible.
Yeah, he's in
What?
Scotland.
He lives in like I thought it was Australia.
I thought it was New
No, he's in
Zealand
Scotland.
until he came on his
Alright,
podcast
he's
and said
somewhere.
it's he's
If
in
I say
Scotland.
I want something to happen to David Zaslav that involves Bernie's Borderlands Tesla,
Well,
If
hey,
you
I'm
can
just
put
saying,
that
like,
overseas.
fill
you
in
know,
the blanks. I didn't say it. Just fill in
Hey.
the blanks.
hey, Pink, if you need someone to do that, like, I'm just saying, we can get that happening. Okay?
The bonking stick is
How
not
many
enough. I
prop
need
assets do you have for your little skull, dude?
Quite a few.
enough.
All of them.
However many
Why
it
did
takes
you?
to be
Don't
funny.
worry.
Exactly.
But no, yeah, fuck David Zaslav. He is honestly the worst thing that has ever happened to Warner Brothers, not
The
just
media
Rooster
in
Teeth.
general, honestly.
Media
not
in
just
general,
Warner
yes.
Brothers.
Agreed.
Am I going to
hear
get
me
yelled at
out.
if I ask who?
He's
He is the
CEO
CEO
Mr.
of Warner Brothers.
Oh, he
Yeah.
made the call.
I.e. the
Fuck that
piece
guy.
of shit of Warner
Yeah.
Bros.
So
Yeah.
hear me out, right? Because it is kind of related to Rooster Teeth.
Yeah.
The reason he did this is, and he's been doing this with a lot of other different stuff that are their IPs, is tax breaks. I feel like if you use a thing that you produced as a tax break,
Do
it
not
should become public domain.
get
Exactly.
me.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm paying for it.
Okay, it was an adult swim show, TBS show, one or the other, called Final Space.
Yeah.
Space
Yeah.
fucking
Hold up,
Yes.
hold up, every
Warner
Final
Brothers.
Space fan.
Ah!
I got
Hold on.
mooncake.
I love Final Space. Olin Rogers
but I
was
meant
one
to
of my
Rogers,
saving graces before
this
I
show-
discovered Rooster Teeth.
This show
Like
was
his
So good.
his
I
Ghost
have
in the
a
Skulls
Olin
video.
Olin
Oh my
Rogers
fucking
signed
God.
poster over there from his appearance at RTX a few years ago.
I know. I was so sad that I didn't end up going, because I had tummy issues. IBS.
They
Girlies, raise your hands.
canceled
Had diarrhea
Season
right before
4.
this podcast.
for a
Let's
tax write-off.
go!
For a tax write-off, they canceled Mooncake.
Yeah.
How dare?
Well,
What?
I'll tell you what, too.
For any fan of Final Space, Olin Rogers did negotiate with Warner Brothers. If you didn't know this, there is a final comic coming out to end
Yes.
the story.
Yes.
There is.
I'm getting that. I pre-ordered that shit. I spent a lot of money to do it, but I pre-ordered that thing.
I hate that it's a comic, but I love that it's coming out.
I don't care. Olin Rogers is a genius, and anything he does, I'll follow.
But hey, Monica, I haven't heard a whole lot from you this podcast.
Let's go!
What's your favorite piece of Rooster Teeth content?
Sorry, I
Let's
threw
hear it.
Mooncake at the wall.
I mean, definitely RWBY. RWBY is kind of what I mean. Like, content creation is my like actual full time job, or like
Yeah.
part of it, one of it. And it started with RWBY because like I think the first cosplay for RWBY that I did was like an OG one. It was something that like somebody that I met through like RT and I created together, and I was in color guard in band. So
Oh,
Hell
my-
yeah.
I'm just glad there's
band
some
Nerd.
fellow band nerds out here. That's
Spinning
what I'm
flags
about.
and like doing
Oh
cool
hell
shit.
yes, yeah! I have my
That's what I'm talking
rifle,
about.
my flag, my saber.
Hell
I
yeah.
got it all.
Hell yeah.
But we created this like prop and that like I would spin and stuff, and so that was the first one that I wore to like my first RTX, and the rest is history. Now I'm making like weird fucking, I mean, effing
Chaos Goblin.
Magikarps, like the M&M head. Like I'm just like,
I think I have a picture of you with that from Saturday with the Magikarp.
yeah. So
As a fellow prop fabricator and creator, I love when people make me weird shit. That's the best.
that's my
Oh my
it's
goodness.
my
Let's
favorite
Making the weird
go!
shit is a
thing
lot of
to
fun.
do.
Oh,
Favorite thing.
absolutely.
God gave me this power, and I'm gonna abuse it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it
Exactly.
everyone else's problem. You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. So I think, I mean, definitely RWBY. It was probably it, and then after that, definitely parts of Always Open.
Yes.
Like I was saying,
Such
like
a
I
good
had
one.
the relationship that I was in prior to this. It was very like machismo, like very like women do this, women do that type of situation, and so like I was kind of like, hope they never see this, but like brainwashed to think that like
Yeah.
that was my like role in this world, was to like be the good woman and do what the man says and all that stuff. And so to have something like RWBY and then Always Open where they kind of changed the game of that, it was just really nice, and it kind of woke me up to be like, what the fuck, like what am I doing? Like no, like
Right?
I'm a strong independent woman, you know.
Let's
and RWBY
go!
was, like
You know what, Monica?
definitely Yeah.
I'm glad that Ruby was able to help you kind of realize who you are and like help you
Yeah.
kind of break free. That's good. I'm sorry, I
Don't
didn't
make
mean
me
to interrupt
cry,
you. I
dude.
just
I'm
wanted to put that
serious.
in.
I'm
I'm
like
glad.
teetering on the edge
That's
of
what
I'm
we
glad
all are.
busting,
somebody brought
bro.
up Always Open. For years, my favorite thing on RTX was the Always Open like bar social.
Yeah.
They would have it like
Yes.
somewhere on Rainy Street in
Yeah.
Austin, and that's where I met like Barb and Jess and like so many people. Like half the photos I have with Rooster Teeth personalities are because of the Always Open social. I can't explain just how much going to like a bar slash disco area dance club. Normally it was on I'm too drunk to remember. Uh,
Hell yeah, brother.
just something about that always open social. There's a
Yeah.
little back area, little back patio. It was usually the same bar. Little back patio for people to chill and hang out and chill and have a drink. Nice little time. Inside, dance floor. Let's go. Let's get silly. Residual personalities in the corner being lit up by disco lights for you to take photos with. Why not? The Always
Yeah.
Open Social was an amazing time.
I think they did one where it was at Warren RTX and it was like sponsored by Bumble. I don't
Yeah.
know if anyone.
Yeah.
That's so wholesome.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to that because like I'm like I said I'm very
Oil
shy.
Can Harry's. It was usually at Oil Can Harry's
I think this one
on
was
Rainy.
at Joe's. This one was the Bumble at Joe's downtown.
That was the
I don't remember what year it was.
I'm terrible at time.
Yeah,
That was the Joe's one was a good time.
it was a good time.
The
Yeah, I
first
met
few
like
were
some
Oil
really
Can
nice
Harry's.
people.
That's where it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Always Open was such a good time.
It really was.
was.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I did enjoy it. It was a
they
good
touched
time.
on some really good topics. I feel
They
like
really did. They had a wide
yeah.
range of like silly, goofy nonsense, but
Yeah.
also like serious
Serious
things,
stuff.
like the box of questions where they would take
the box of tissue or issues.
the box of issues. That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Then the weekly drink.
The week,
Yeah,
the
that was
cocktail of
really
the week
good
kind of
too.
thing.
Yeah.
I
Stella Rosa.
I liked I really enjoyed watching On the Spot and then the spin-off that they
Oh
did.
my goodness, on the spot was so good.
Da, 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 da.
Honestly, our Rooster Teeth has been a mainstay in media and tech industry for a long time, and it's been a part of our lives for
So
a good 10, 15 years, give or take. So like it's
Seth, you said
it's-
you were at the first RTX, right?
Yeah.
So obviously obviously, I'm assuming Red versus Blue got you in on that.
Well, yeah. So our RVB is what brought me in because, like I said, a week or two after that first episode is when, like, I got shown to me and I fell in love with it. But I think what actually kept me going had to be was Achievement Hunter.
Let's play
Achievement Hunter is what
Minecraft.
kept me staying.
Oh, yeah.
Especially all the different Let's Plays.
For a long time, Achievement Hunter was what kept me as a fan.
yeah.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
You
That
know
was
what
it,
my
like-
saddest Rooster Teeth memory is, Seth?
Oh, let's not get. Oh, don't make me cry, buddy.
That's a whole can of
Ray
Let's
worms.
leaving.
go.
Is
I
it
Ray
wanna
made me
cry.
cry.
There it is.
Let's cry.
Brad,
I'm 3 drinks in. I will cry if you make me.
Let's cry.
Let's cry.
Let's go, let's go.
Cry. Let's
I need
fucking
a refill on
cry.
mine.
You know, group hug over the webcams. It's fine. I don't have a hug item, unfortunately, so you'll just have to believe me. Big
There you go,
hugs.
Chandler.
Big hugs.
So going with Ray, I didn't realize Ray was only there for 3 years.
Right?
I thought he was there for longer too.
Me too.
I thought he was there for way.
The
I think he
jokes
started
that
in
people are like,
09?
let's bring Ray back have been around longer than when Ray
Than
was
Ray's
with the
tenure.
company.
Rachel doesn't know I have this. My fiance doesn't know I have this. At a year RTX, whatever the hell, Ray sold body pillows of himself.
Oh,
Where one
Did
side
you?
is him
no.
like,
Oh, no.
Did you?
I
I
bought
have
the
one.
Ray body pillow sleeve. I had him sign his crotch. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's somewhere in our apartment, and I'm
And I still
scared
love
for when
sleeping
we
with it.
move because she will find it. And
We have the Jeff one. We've been meaning to sell it because
there's
we've
a
never
Jeff
really did
body
it.
pillow.
Yes, it was.
Hey, I think I found your
designed
buyer for
by
you.
Dax,
It's over there somewhere.
Right?
Okay, yeah,
I swear
sell
it
it to
was
me.
designed
Let's
by
go.
Dax.
I'll
Let's
go
do it.
find it quick.
I'll buy that shit.
I'll buy it.
I'll be right back.
I,
I'll go fight
That
it.
was a thing.
Oh, let's do it, Steven.
I think what's great too is Ray. From what I remember, he started out as a moderator on the forums. I think that was it.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Well,
Just
I love-
a little New York
people
kid they brought in and put on camera.
Okay.
started like that. That started with.
How did you
Raid
find that so
community.
quickly?
Wow.
I could not find the raid one if you put a gun to my head.
I just happened to know where it was at, but yeah, it's still in the package and everything.
Holy
Oh
shit.
my
Okay.
God.
Dang.
We'll hook up later. I want to buy that shit. If
Hey, I'll tell you what,
willing.
Trent. I will give you
Sealed,
20 schmeckles.
original sealed package.
Oh shit!
Trident, I'll give you 20 schmeckles,
We,
3 stale
20
Cheetos, and
schmeckles?
some belly button lint.
20
It's a pretty good deal.
We might even.
Hold up.
What?
Oric the Jester in chat. They had body pillows for every member of Achievement Hunter?
What?
They did.
They sold out very quickly.
Yes.
I'm about to be out a lot of money.
Chandler, no.
I've got
Chandler,
Ray.
no.
It was pre-20.
It's a
Explaining that to
It
Rachel.
was
might-
pre-20.
it was
Rachel
pre-20,
loves
so
Red
it's
versus
gonna
Blue.
have a
She doesn't like
problematic
AH
member.
that much. I'm gonna have to explain that.
It
But
was
If
pre-2020
if
when
Warner
stuff
Brother
happened.
gets back to me about buying the name, I can write that shit off on taxes.
That's true.
That could be a tax write-off.
Pull their own move.
Just get a loan for
Like,
a couple $100,000.
Can I have a
Buy
small
all the
loan of
body
$1 million,
pillows.
please,
Look.
Mr. Warner Brother?
If they get back to me, they're definitely probably not gonna. If they get back to me, I'll let everyone here know. If whatever reason, law of infinite probability, I get the name. We'll do something with it and then give it to Jeff Ramsey as a
Yeah.
I
group.
think that's a good idea. I think that's fun.
We'll all drive
You
down to
get-
Austin and just give him the deed like an old Western homestead.
Giant cardboard check.
A giant cardboard check. Yes.
There's a joke we have to continue with RTDFW if we do that, because there was some with RTDFW. There was a guy who couldn't go to RTX one year, and so RTDFW brought a cardboard cutout of him to RTX,
Ah.
and it became like an ongoing meme. That's our friend Sean. He was the cardboard.
Yo,
cutout
shout out
at
to
RTX.
Sean.
I just want to say Sean's a little flat, but once you get to know him, he grows on you.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
That's so good. All right, Bubba's gonna be back.
All right, who has not talked about how they got in here?
I think
Yes,
we're-
probably Steven.
Well, I mean, same as like I said. Rooster brain just went out the window.
Was it there in the first place?
Hush your face.
Oh.
Roasting you the way only your
I'm
mom
married
can.
to you.
Yes.
I have the legal rights.
Yeah. Anyway,
You gotta hide the certificate. He can't return you without the receipt.
except I'm the one who knows where that's at.
Oh no.
It's in my grandpa's.
Exactly, I know where it's at.
But you don't have the key.
I know where the keys
I
are.
have the key.
Anyway,
Well,
Red
y'all
vs.
have
Blue
the key to my
definitely was
heart.
definitely my intro, and like I said before, I watched a few episodes in high school or middle school or whenever around it was. Got back into it in 2008, 2009, first year of college.
Sorry, the wig is coming off.
And, with Achievement Hunter.
Mine
too. Achievement Hunter just kind of filling the gap in there for a while until RWBY came along, and while, like I said, like with Red versus Blue and Achievement Hunter being what got me into it, RWBY is kind of what kept me here, and like, hey, this is what you gotta watch. Like, it's it's just a good story, and that's it's how I met all of you, really. I mean, if it wasn't for RWBY, I wouldn't have ended up going to RTX that first year. So, it's how I've been able to keep and hold on to quite a few new friends in the past 6-7 years.
Not to mention your sanity.
No, that was gone a long time ago.
We probably should have noticed this earlier. Well, we did notice. We probably should have addressed it earlier. James had to dip because his internet sucked.
Oh yeah.
We
So Jimmy, my boy, I love you. I am pretty sure he got in through RWBY. I can't speak for him. Honestly, for all I know, he's driving to my apartment. We don't live that far from each other. If he, I'm gonna text him. If he can make it by the end, he's more than welcome to join me. I'm pretty sure Jimmy, my boy, joined on RWBY. Sorry, I just want to address it because I just now realized we never did.
He was. I think he tried to talk about it a little, and then his internet just wouldn't fucking let.
Oh yeah,
he
he's
posted
One
in
drink,
was
chat
one
as
drink,
well
and
when
I'm
we
talked
talked
about
about it.
So I want to go back to the live stream that Rooster Teeth did on Thursday really quick because there was a moment in that I really liked. Besides everything, all the crying and all the just happiness, I really liked when they basically acknowledged that being being bought out, being acquired by Full Screen was the worst move, the worst decision ever made in
They all hated it.
yeah.
I will say, like, obviously, I don't work for them. I'm just some jackass. By
Aren't we
Full
all?
Screen, not necessarily a bad idea. They don't control the fact that Full Screen got bought out.
Yeah. I was gonna
Yeah.
Through
say,
Full Screen, they
AT&T
made
got
Laser
bought out.
Team. They
yeah.
made Crunch Time. They made some solid,
Oh man,
solid content.
When's the
I
last
Crunch
forgot
time
about
Time
that one.
is so good.
It
Yeah.
was so good.
Under the
Laser Team
umbrella,
was so good.
under the
Laser
um,
Team's the first one.
I like two, but one is stronger. Under the umbrella of Full Screen Entertainment, they made some phenomenal content. Once Full Screen got bought out by blah 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 lawyers nonsense, obviously they don't control who Business Daddy gets bought out by.
I like that.
To quote John Oliver,
Right?
"Hi, Business Daddy."
Hi, Business Daddy. Business Daddy is mad at us all the time. Our
You
new
know,
Business
and
Daddy is mad at us all the time.
what's terrible is whenever I call my boss business daddy, apparently it's an issue, and I have to go to HR
To get written up and hey, you can't do
Yeah,
that.
go watch Laser Team.
Do it.
Go watch it. It's pretty
I
damn
haven't
good.
seen the second one, but the first one is
Another one of
Two,
another
I don't want to say you can pretend two doesn't exist. Two isn't as strong.
another
It's
another
good, but
RTX
not-
memory that I really loved was going to the Paramount Theater and watching Bloodfest with everyone.
Oh yes.
Let's
I never saw
go!
Bloodfest.
Trident Productions.
How?
Like the three of them.
I don't know.
They were the only
doesn't like
ones
horror
that
movies, so
ever cosplayed from
I
it.
don't want to watch it alone.
Yeah,
I
don't
have
think
some stories about Bloodfest.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we saw any other cosplays from Bloodflesh. So I think
Because
It
it's
might
kind of a
be
niche thing.
Trident
let's be
was
real.
as the collective of the three of us. I think we might have been the only Bloodfest cosplayers.
Because wasn't there also like another movie that came out that was made by like a bigger studio that had a very
Yeah,
similar
it-
Yeah.
premise?
Yes.
It was very
What was
much
it
like,
called?
Can I copy your homework? Sure, just make sure it looks
Yeah.
different enough, and then it's like the same.
Yeah, that's
That
exactly
came
what
out
happened.
Very close to it. Yeah.
incredibly legally distinct. I just want to remind
Mhm.
everyone, incredibly legally distinct. All right.
But my favorite memory from that night was when
My headset's
the
dying.
dolls came on screen and everyone just, oh fuck no.
I need a cord for my headset. One sec. I have several stories about the that movie premiere. Me and I've mentioned him previously. Our good buddies. Oh, what the fuck? Which cord is this? I'm in my living room just yanking
I
cords
gotta
out of the
say,
place.
I just love seeing Chandler work with tech. Whether it's on or
You think it's
over
bad
there.
now?
Technologically illiterate.
Oh,
You
yeah.
think his grasp of technology is bad
Dude,
now?
imagine the first year or two of this podcast. Josh was basically my benefactor.
It's like,
Oh,
come
yeah,
on!
no.
I'm just basically trying to pull him away.
I forget which RTX it was. The year Bloodfest came out. We've mentioned it before. My buddy Zach, our buddy Zach, who I met in line. Through him, I met Josh. Through the three of us started. He not backed out. You know, life gets in the way. He is technically still a member of Zeros to Heroes. Anyway, through Zach, he and we bought tickets to this. Josh was already there. Josh got there ahead of us.
No, the fuck I didn't.
Were you not at the RTX Blood premiere?
Me and Zach got there after you.
Nah, I was in the lobby getting drinks. Let me finish my story. Anyway,
All right.
Zach and I are rushing to the premiere. You know those Lime scooters? You know those e-scooters?
Yeah.
Yep.
First time using those. We're rushing through downtown Austin on those fucking things. Sorry.
Oh no.
If you don't know anything about downtown Austin, is that it has a number of potholes.
And the roads are very bad.
And those scooters hit 25 miles an hour. So when we're running late to get in line for our seats, we hit up potholes. I go straight 180 over the handlebars in downtown Austin to the point where after I crash, I stand up. I'm like, fuck the scooter, let's go! We sprint the last 3 blocks. That scooter I might still be paying for that scooter. I never stopped that ride. I showed up to that premiere bloody, injured, and needing a drink.
So also in theme.
You probably had a concussion and you should not have been drinking.
Probably, because after the movie premiere, when they do the Q&A in the line, I get up and just ask, do you guys think you'd survive the clowns? To the point where the director, the cast is on stage, they're like, I guess. I'm like, fuck, man, I couldn't think of a better question than, you think you could live through clowns?
Now, Kronk, I want to say, this is exactly why when we do conventions together and we host panels together, I always have a medical kit, and it's a really good thing that I have a decent amount of medical skill, because, good lord, this man, we love him, but...
the amount of shit he gets into.
Lord.
It's ridiculous the amount of times I've had to bring up the fact that I was drinking. I only drink at conventions. Well, and tonight, because I'm thinking about conventions. To me, this is an honorary convention. I'm so happy to be here tonight. I'm so thrilled to finally have my computer have a camera and a microphone again.
Well, can I just say, I'm also really glad to just meet all of you here that I had not met previously. You are all wonderful, wonderful folks, and I'm glad
I
we
will
could
say
all
this now.
get together this evening.
If I get the rights, RTX, my apartment, is happening, and you're all welcome to join.
Hey,
RTX Houston is a go the second I get a green light.
Kronk, I'm not sure whether your fiance would appreciate me showing up to your apartment.
Rachel is a host. Rachel would love to have guests. Are you kidding me? Rachel.
All right, well, I'm on my way. Hold
out
on,
of
I'm
her
gonna get in the
way
car.
to make people comfortable. And if I don't get the rights, fuck it. RTX HO Houston.
It would be really fun to have somebody do.
Or like the Jester, you are more than welcome in my living room.
To like have like I mean, obviously it couldn't be as big as like the ACC, right? But
I'm not
like
renting
in
down the George R.
Austin,
Brown
like
Convention
at
Center.
Zilker Park or something where it's just like a conglomerate of people from RT.
I'm thinking I could maybe afford like
old school, back in the field.
That's what I'm saying.
a Marriott,
Yes.
a Marriott Convention Center. I feel like I could do that.
There you go.
If we crowdfund it, a Marriott
Well,
Convention, I could get that.
It's funny you talk
You're
about
all
it, 'cause I
welcome.
actually have some connections for the San Antonio Convention Center.
Go
Not
on.
Austin.
Hey,
but-
San
Dude,
Antonio's great.
San-
That's where
the
PAX
San Antonio
South was, and it was
CC
awesome.
is
Exactly.
beautiful.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You can get some
Their
gorgeous
con
stuff.
Got
center
those
is right on the
escalators
river,
for-
too.
God damn it, I love Rooster Teeth. Sorry for swearing. I'm just so happy right now,
It's
reminiscing.
fine, man. So as we're winding down, as we're getting close to the end of the podcast, let's just share our moments that we really love from the past 21 years. Like one of my favorite moments is just meeting Monty at the volume 2 finale in Austin at the Alamo Draft House
At the Alamo.
at South Lamar.
Do you guys remember when like they used to the tug screenings for RWBY and RVB?
Yeah.
Yes.
Those were so great. I
Never made it
once
to the volume 6
drove
premiere, but
to Austin just to see the entirety of season 3 on the big screen, and then drove back to Houston. I was in Austin for maybe 3 hours after a 3-hour drive just to drive 3 hours back.
Hey, sometimes it's worth it.
It absolutely was. I regret nothing.
I didn't get to say this earlier. Since we're winding down, I
Yeah.
think my most iconic, or the most iconic Rooster Teeth moment for me was when Gavin explained what he does when he gets sick.
He just
says,
chooses
"Okay,
not to.
I'm not gonna get sick."
Nah, I'm
And
good.
then just
Skip.
everyone's like, "I don't think that's how that works." It's like, no, it works for me. Just don't get sick.
I've been
Oh,
haven't been sick
man.
for 3 years.
Right?
Rachel and I have been talking about, like, she's in this huge, like, decluttering phase right now, and she keeps going. We have 2 bookshelves, her bookshelf and my bookshelf. My bookshelf is a cluster F word, to the point
Yeah.
where, like, I keep my Gus mask on there, I keep the Cheez-It box covered in signatures.
Everything but books, really.
I got some books on there. I've got my hold on, let me put it. It's basically my Rooster Teeth shelf. I've got my
Oh yeah.
signed by 1,000 people camp scarf here.
Oh, nice.
Every
Oh
signature
my
on here is a
God,
Rooster
I
Teeth
forgot
employee
about
from
that.
over the years. I would take this to every convention. I showed you my Cheez-It box. I showed you my Pecos Pete mug signatures. I cannot express how, after all these years, ups and down, thankful I am for Rooster Teeth to have been in my life. I truly would not be here with all of you if 7, 8 years ago I did not decidingly, on a whim, buy a ticket to RTX.
Same.
I have met lifelong friends. I have met people who I have traveled the state with, hosted shows in front of hundreds of people with, hosted shows in front of tens of people with, in front of... The first panel Josh and I ever hosted was 0 people, 1 people who got bored and left during the middle of the panel.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
truly, we've been
Their
invited
ADHD
guests.
kicked in.
We've been barely invited. We've been
yeah.
barely allowed in the building. I have met lifelong friends. I have met the love of my life. I have met truly, including everyone here, wondrous people who I am all the better for knowing. And it's all because I like some silly Halo show, you know?
And you know what I think is the best part about it? Meeting you fellas, I have seen us go from well-oiled machine to everything is on fire. And you know, we still have a good time.
Yeah.
Oh, that Anime
Absolutely.
Family Feud panel.
Man, I've got the clipped up versions of it, and it looks really good in post. Looks really good in post.
Nice.
I'm happy about that. We finished
It's like
working
the
on that
cosplay 5
panel
feet away rule. It looks good in
3
post, it looks
minutes
good 5 feet
before we
away.
went on stage.
Yeah. I mean, Croc and I went to Half Price Books, and that poor register lady was so confused. It's like, why do
We
you
love
want
to
Shrek
buy
on
the-
Why are you
VHS?
buying so many VHSs?
We love
Transformers
stupid
come-
mystery prizes, which are just VHS tapes. Because
Oh,
what are
yeah.
you gonna do with a VHS copy of Shrek 1? Except
yeah.
put it on a shelf and laugh about how you were given it as a prize, you know?
Don't forget my favorite thing I grabbed, which was World of Warcraft on CD.
Yeah, you can't even use that. That's not even an active download
It's
anymore.
literally useless. It's just a
It's
box.
just box art. Rooster Teeth has meant so much to so many people. Hopefully I'm free to say everyone here included.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sorry, if I may, I texted James to see if he had any parting thoughts for the stream since he had to leave. Just tell everyone I appreciate them and their passion for Rooster Teeth and our friendships. I may not have been the biggest RT head in the community, but one of his most personal inspirations was this community and everyone he met through us. It's one of the reasons he lived in Austin, Texas, and through that, one of the reasons he met all of us, and he's just so thankful for that. So if I could say thank you, James, the feeling's mutual, buddy.
Absolutely.
You're gonna make Monica cry.
Yeah, you're like,
Bullying
yeah,
her.
you're cusping.
I've been on the verge of tears this whole time, and I'm
Okay,
trying
yep, here we go.
very hard to
There were a
hide
couple
it.
times I muted
Fucking
myself
quit
with
it.
the beauty. All right.
Absolutely.
'Cause I will say-
Any other final thoughts, people?
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, I think it was nice to grow up with Rooster Teeth. I know in more recent years, for some of the things that have happened, I kind of like got a little disinterested. But seeing how much this means to everyone was really special, I think. And I'm hoping that this isn't goodbye, just see you later. And a lot of these talent who had like no moonlight, no anti-competition agreements, come out to make something kind of special, similar to what
I'm-
we did. You know,
I'm
and make
so
beautiful,
excited to
beautiful
see
art.
what some of these
Yeah.
people
Oh,
do
yeah, for
moving
sure.
forward.
Because a lot of the employees are sharing their stuff, are sharing their content
Their
on
portfolios,
their portfolios, their contact
their
info on
artwork.
social media, so they can get jobs. So, like,
I,
I would love to hire an RT employee, but I don't have money. But I would love
We're
to.
broke as shit, dude.
I think what's important
Everyone
is
is.
to
Or
just
to Jester,
again
I approve. We'll never say goodbye.
appreciate.
To quote
Yeah.
Caboose, they're just not here right now.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
Right now.
I think
Like,
it's important to appreciate
I'm
the
gonna
time that
cry.
we had with
Here we
it,
go.
but
Oh, God.
also to
Oh,
look
the dog
forward. And I
figured it
think
out. Oh,
it's
no,
important
she's
not to
running away. She's
forget
scared of me.
these individuals. Make sure that you're supporting them because it's a hard time for them, and hopefully we can see more beautiful things come out of them.
Follow them for the next. What you said there was like a 60-day grace period.
Yes, it was less than 60 days now, but yes, it's roughly a 60-day
If you
grace period for them to wind down.
stay up, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Instagram, follow them
Yeah.
wherever they are. If they work on a show, watch that show. Just
'Cause,
if you support them, continue to do so because we are so fortunate to have been a part of this community, and it really is a community. I
It's
can't
so
express this
true.
enough.
Yeah.
My current life I owe to everyone in this chat right now.
Yeah.
Everyone at that first RTX, that second RTX, that third RTX. Rachel for going to Comic Palooza. Just so happened to have met her there. I cannot express the words you all mean to me, and how just thrilled I am to have been a part of this, and whatever comes next to hopefully be a part of it.
Yeah, and I think it's important too that remember that these are people with kids and families that depend on these jobs, and I think I have seen a very small vocal minority be very upset about what's going on because they felt like they should have been given more of a heads up. And I think at the end of the day, you got to remember corporate ladders are not so easy to understand, and a lot of these people did just find out when we found out. So give them some time and support them while you can.
God knows if we were in charge, this wouldn't be happening.
Oh yeah.
I feel that's safe to say for any. Are
Made it this
RT
far.
fans still called cockbites? Can we still call ourselves?
They
that?
are still called cockbites.
If any
Yeah.
cockbite was in charge, this
God,
would
I
not
had-
be happening.
Exactly.
When I became an admin of the RTDFW Discord, or when I first joined it, I needed some help with something, so I hit the bot command. They forgot to tell me that the bot was called Cockbite, and
Yeah!
as a woman, getting a DM from someone called Cockbite is not ideal.
I mean, listen, I'm just
Even
saying
if it
that's a
did
little
turn out to be a
empowering.
bot.
I would even argue.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, it has been a fantastic ride from beginning to end. Whether you love or hate Rooster Teeth at the moment for whatever reason, it has been such a fantastic ride. And whenever you got into Rooster Teeth, it has definitely been a fantastic journey
If
to
you were a
meet
fan
every
at
single
any
one of
point,
you.
I'm happy to have
Oh,
been in the
fuck.
same community as you.
Absolutely.
And it
Oh, yeah.
means the world
Oh,
to
you
me and to hopefully many of you
Oh yeah.
that what a truly weird and special and niche little thing we've been a part of.
This was absolutely not something I was ever thinking it's going to be on this year's bucket list. I knew it would be on a bucket list sometime or on a bingo list sometime, but I did not expect it to be this soon.
Yeah.
I know I haven't consumed Rooster Teeth content in a couple years, but it does feel surreal to hear that they are shutting down after 21 years. And funnily enough, this is their last RV Red versus Blue. So having them finish off with
The final season's actually going to come out?
the final
Yeah, the final
season.
season's
Yeah.
still
I thought it
coming
got
out.
canceled.
The final
No.
season's coming out.
Final
they're
season
gonna
is still
finish
coming out.
releasing Camp. Please, oh my god, I look like I look fucking awful.
I'm about to cry. I thought RBB got canceled.
No.
No, RVB did
No,
not
you-
get
you
canceled.
all look beautiful.
It's still
All
coming
right.
out. There'll be more news about that in the coming week. RWBY, they're shopping around. They're shopping. They're releasing what's left of Camp. In fact, so episode 2 just still came out on Friday. Yeah, and then after that, everything else is just kind of up in the air.
So support them up to the very end, folks. It's
And support the people who are
Go.
working their hardest to keep RTs, all that stuff from becoming lost media. There's something called right now the Archive of Pimps that's working to
The
archive.
archive of
I
That
love
is a
the
Minecraft
archive
Let's
of
Play
Pimps. That
reference,
is
and I fucking
beautiful.
love it.
Yeah, they're working to preserve all of that, as much content as they can before, because Warner Brothers, as we are unfortunately all aware, are delete happy. So they want to
Very
make
much
sure
so.
that a lot of the Rooster Teeth, especially because the same thing happened to Machinima when again Warner Brothers nuked that, they got rid of a lot of that content. So they're working to preserve that and make sure nothing from Rooster Teeth becomes lost media.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, it has been a true honor, true pleasure meeting you all and having you guys here on
I'm
the
so glad to know
podcast.
every single person here.
Thank you all for coming
Damn
onto
it,
the
now I'm gonna
stream.
start crying.
I don't want to start crying, but I'm at the fucking
I
edge.
Holy
I just want to
crap,
put this out here
Christopher
before we end.
Bay!
If anyone ever wants to play some games,
I
come
really
on.
hope this isn't the last we'll talk about Rooster Teeth, or
Yes.
I really hope last our Ruby recap wasn't the last. I really hope that wasn't the last Ruby recap. I hope we do get to do volume 10. But until then, it's been great knowing
If we
Rooster Teeth.
let's end on a Rooster Teeth quote here, buddy.
Hold on. Yeah,
This isn't goodbye. They're just not here right now.
absolutely.
I'm about to fucking cry.
Thank you all. That being said, I think it's perfectly acceptable to end this podcast on how we
Would you play
started.
that intro again?
So yeah, everyone, would you please mute?
If you play that intro, I
You
will
have
cry. I swear to God.
Because I can't watch that again.
There's a point where it tips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point where you just can't take anymore. There's a line that we'll cross and there's no return. There's a time and a place, no bridges left to burn anymore. We can't just wait with lives at stake until they think we're ready. Our enemies are gathering, the storm is growing deadly. Now it's time to say goodbye to the things we loved and the innocence of youth. Now the time seems to fly from our carefree lives and the solitude and peace we
Hey,
always knew.
You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries.